Yes, hello people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. I've actually just finished recording this video, and it was 25 minutes long, but guess what, dude? The microphone wasn't plugged in. I hate myself, but instead of just stopping, I really want to get this information out to you, so I've started again, and it's going to be better this time. Maybe it's fate that I re-recorded it to give you better content. Today we're talking about strikers. Toney being considered by Chelsea. Boy, what a striker this man is. As well as some updates on Mauricio Pochettino and Kai Havertz, unhappy at Chelsea, could return to Germany. What does that mean? Wasted talent, shame, lots to get into. Thank you for joining me. I'm delighted to inform you this video is actually brought to you by OneFootball. If you like keeping up to date with Chelsea news, and who doesn't, and you want that for free and instantaneous, OneFootball is the app for you. It's available on all platforms and indeed a website. You can get notifications on it. You know, Chelsea news, all football news, transfer news, manager news, statistics, match lineups, everything on OneFootball. If I can bring you something for free, I'm going to do it, by gosh. And here's my opportunity. Simply click the link in the top of the description to get OneFootball now for free. Do it. Why not? You know? All right, sweet. Let's start. Let's get into it. So, a bit of positive update quickly on Mauricio Pochettino. Sky Sports saying there's no issues with him coming to Chelsea. It's all pretty much, well, it is all agreed. The regular process is staged now. After the agreement, Pochettino emerged as an outstanding candidate after the, of course, exhaustive process that we all are constantly hearing about. One source refuted claims that Nagelsmann camp said, "Oh, we didn't want Chelsea." Apparently it's nonsense, but that doesn't matter. It's in the past. Who cares? Who cares? I certainly don't care. All I care about is a decent manager coming to Chelsea and making players walk on hot coals. Right, before we talk about Kai Havertz and Toney, a quick reminder to drop a like and subscribe should you want to. Hey, I ain't pushy. You know, I've got enough subscribers. But if you enjoy up-to-date Chelsea news, then you should subscribe and turn the bell on. And I do thank you for your likes. It helps me out on the algorithm in the cold, dark abyss that is the YouTube algorithm. Do you remember when I used to say that all the time? So please do drop a like. And yeah, I love reading your comments, man. So Sport Bild, which is of course a big sports publication in Germany, I imagine the biggest sports publication in Germany, suggesting Kai Havertz has long been unhappy at Chelsea and could return to Germany, most notably Bayern Munich. Of course, Thomas Tuchel is at Bayern Munich. He likes Kai Havertz. And he's been linked to Bayern Munich before, Kai Havertz, before we signed him. It was indeed Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and of course he went to Chelsea. We signed him for £71 million, or just over. That was just over Kepa's price tag, I think, which made him our record signing. Oh, right. We'll talk about Havertz because I really like him. I think he's a silky baller, says the silky German. And of course, scoring that iconic goal at Chelsea, winning us the Champions League, that will always remain in Chelsea fans' hearts and minds, and indeed his own. So, you know, he'll never regret coming to Chelsea. Do we believe that he's unhappy at Chelsea? Well, maybe. Of course, pinch of salt must be taken because this is coming from a German publication linking him to a German club. But you could pretty much pick any member of the Chelsea squad at the moment, or certainly most of them, and make a case for them being unhappy. Now, before I talk about my thoughts on Kai Havertz individually, Liam Twomey of The Athletic explained on The Athletic podcast how the amortization of Kai Havertz is such at a point that we would only, if we recouped the value of 35 million euros on him this summer, it would wipe out him on the books, which is obviously good, and in terms of how it worked and how we've paid him back. And you'd easily get 35 million euros for Kai Havertz. Think about it. Yes, he's come to Chelsea and not scored loads of goals. I don't think he is a prolific goal scorer, but he still scores big goals. He plays in multiple sort of positions-ish. He still looks good. He's got the odd wonder goal, like the chef's kiss goal against Newcastle. He's still starting player for Germany, often plays as a striker for them, and, you know, has been their form player, really, in the last sort of 18 months, scored some great goals, looked really good. And for, a club to buy what that represents, it's still a young player, is a fantastic acquisition. Certainly worth more than 35 million euros. So I guess if you could just sell them for like 50 million euros, and then we'd have a little bit more, 15 million wiggle room on the books, financial fair play. There is a structure to this. There is method to this madness. There is a structure to this explanation that I am too dumb to assert to you and pretty much can't remember, but Liam Twomey explained it on the Athletic podcast. So it can be done, and selling him maybe is an option. If you consider Christopher and Cuckoo coming in, because we're not going to play Kai as a striker. Certainly, Pochettino won't. We've got Cuckoo coming in as that sort of number 10 option. I'd like to keep Mason Mount. I think he could sort of play the Dele Alli. If you can get 17 Premier League goals in a season out of Dele Alli, and look what sort of happened to him since, think of what he could do with talents like Mason Mount and Cuckoo, and indeed Kai Havertz. That's why I think it would be such a waste in many ways to see him go, because I think he'd do so well under Pochettino. I did that video a few uploads ago, Pochettino's Chelsea winners and losers. When I speak about who would benefit from the appointment and odds are and stay, and then the opposite, who wouldn't benefit and should go. He was very much one of the winners for me, and if you want to watch that video, I recommend you do. You'd find it interesting, because I go through the entire Chelsea squad. You can find that video, if you just click on my YouTube channel, it's a few uploads ago. I just think it would be a shame. He's been misused at Chelsea. His legacy at Chelsea will be he scored that goal and he was sort of misused and didn't really, know what we were doing. Like, we bought Timo Werner for goals because he had a prolific, explosive season. Yes, he's not a conventional number 9, but make no bones about it. We bought him for goals. That's why we bought Timo. We used him well in other ways. Tuchel certainly did, out wide, making space, causing concerns and transition, etc. But he didn't deliver his primary task, which is fine. I don't think we bought Kai Havertz primarily for goals. We saw he scored a bunch of goals, and he scored some assists, but we saw that the way he moved and the way he combined, and a bit of raw material, kind of like Mikhailo Mudryk, but Mudryk's is like a direct, potential, whereas Kai Havertz is a deeper, dropping, occupying space and space investigator. I forget what that German term is. And I really love the player that he is. He's very two-footed, but because he's 6'1" and can win headers in the 6-yard box, we sort of lumped him up front, which is like a shame, really. And he scored a few goals. He didn't mind doing it, and maybe he can't work at Chelsea, and it's a good idea to sell him for the aforementioned figure of 50 million. Should we can get it, and I think we should be able to get it for him. Let me know what you think. I think it'll be incredibly sad, but I kind of get it at the same time. Again, we don't know if he's definitely unhappy, but that's what the German reports are suggesting. Let's move on. Are we going to transition? There we are. So Nazar Kinsella of the Evening Standard has wrote? Yeah, he wrote. My brain did. About Ivan Toney. Of course, he's got these FIFA charges about betting. Chelsea have put Brentford striker Ivan Toney on a transfer shortlist of potential summer signings, of course, as we target a new striker. This is pending the outcome of his FA Association betting charges. For context, I don't know how many games Brentford have got left. They got 1 or 2. He's got 20 Premier League goals, man, and 4 assists. That is playing for Brentford. Granted, they're in the counter-attacking side, and you'd have to ask how much counter-attacking are Chelsea going to be doing moving forward. But he's got Drogba vibes. I thought he was 25, he's 27. If he was 25, I'd be a little bit more excited. I don't know why. Obviously, he could mature, who knows, Lewandowski and Karim Benzema, which would be great, which means you've got a whole, decent contract of top-tier elite striker, but you don't know that. Toney appeared in front of a disciplinary panel on Tuesday after being charged with a total of 262 breaches of FA guidelines between February 2017 January 2021. 4 years of charges. So the 27-year-old, is in his prime, but you kind of want a year or two before their prime to acclimatise to the big club, maybe. Am I talking nonsense? He's contesting many of the charges, but has accepted some and could face a lengthy ban. No date has been set for a decision. Toney has enjoyed a brilliant season for Brentford, scoring 20 Premier League goals, and of course he's already made his England debut. Chelsea want to sign a new striker for incoming head coach Maurizio Pochettino and have identified Toney as a possible target. I do like him. He's serving me English Drogba vibes. He's obviously cited Drogba. But before I read this next paragraph, I think Toney would be keen to leave. Or, this is not this is not a radical shout. I think he'd want to leave Brentford. I want to reference 2 social media videos that surfaced one after the other over the last year or two. One is when he's with a pretty woman on holiday somewhere. She's filming and she says, go. And then he says the swear word beginning with F. He goes, F Brentford, really quickly. And then she laughs and stops recording. Why would he say that to the club he plays for that's paying him, his employer? Well, I think probably he was trying to get laid. And she was like, okay, you can come back to my hotel room and I'll go back with you if you say this into the camera. And he just does it. So, thinking with his second brain there, and that's speculative from me. I don't know what happened there. And there was another clip where he was at a gas station, or some guys at a gas station filming, and he goes, hey man, do I recognise you? He's like, yeah, football in the Premier League. Oh, cool, what club do you play for? And he's just, just some little club, not a great club. You think he'd defend his parent club employer, promoted into the Premier League, like, Brentford, we're here to take over, mate. And really, he's just like, fobbing them off. It's like he wants to get out of there. He's really ambitious. He's talking about Drogba. He's talking about when he's in the England camp, I deserve to be here. I feel comfortable here. So he wants to move. But he won't thank Thomas Frank for what he said about him. It is thought that Brentford would be willing to sell Ivan Toney this summer as he's got 2 years left on his contract, though their manager Thomas Frank last week valued him at over £100 million. The Bees would demand a sizable fee. So, when your gaffer says that, you think maybe you go, oh, lovely, the gaffer thinks I'm worth 100 million. That's nice. That's raised my ego and my confidence. But he's probably thinking, no, don't say that. You're going to price me out of a move. And by the way, no. 100 million, if you're spending it, you get Harry Kane. I don't care that Harry Kane's, 2 or 3 years older. It's Harry Kane. Toney's great. He'll probably do better in a bigger team. But come on, dude. No Chelsea fan is going to be like, spend £100 million on Brentford's Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's amazing. His ceiling could be higher. He's performing really, really well. His shot accuracy is good. Not £100 million, mate. Not £100 million. I'm just sorry. That's not a thing. But a long ban to his betting breaches, of course, would stop that. Trippier, of course, was banned when they won La Liga, Atletico. He got 10-week ban, which isn't the end of the world. And if Toney got a 10-week ban, apparently I read somewhere different that it could also be served over the summer, which is fine. You just train and then start when the season starts. But the FA was found to so Joey Barton was banned for 18 months, which is a very long time. It was, that is like, if you're in your prime and you're banned for 18 months, you're screwed, dude, because, not only are you missing out on a season and possibly more, season and a bit of your career in your prime, you just lose all match fitness, sharpness, and all that kind of stuff. Chelsea also have Napoli's Victor Osimhen and Inter Milan's Lautaro Martinez on their shortlist for strikers. I did talk about Lautaro Martinez at relative length on my previous upload, the one before this one. We look at his stats, and I give my opinion, and we talk about that, how that's a Poch target, and talk about the relationship with Lukaku and all sorts. So if you're interested in that, do go watch my latest upload and learn about Lautaro. Osimhen led Napoli to the Serie A title this season, while Martinez has scored. He scored against Milan in the semi-final, and they're in the final. And Lautaro himself has a lot of goals. I think he might have 25 goals, which is a lot. Romelu Lukaku is also due to return to Chelsea this summer after a season-long loan at Inter. Inter have a verbal agreement to extend his loan, but the sizable wages and the loan fee are putting them off amid the financial problems. That's probably why we'll probably try and sign Onana. Again, I speak about Nana. Nana? I speak about Onana in my previous upload as well, so do check that out if you want to learn about the Inter players that we are apparently after. And of course, we've signed in Cuckoo already for £53 million. I guess in Cuckoo is another reason why maybe Kai Havertz is unhappy knowing he's coming in and, you know, probably going to play in his preferred position as a number 10. And Cuckoo himself sees himself as a number 10, though he plays on the left wing sometimes, and indeed as a forward, as a striker. But I do not want to see that. I want to see a striker playing as a striker. I want to see Armando Bria at times, but of course, I want a senior striker as well. So let me know what you think, guys. This time around, I think I did the video better. Maybe I should do more practice runs. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, and subscribe to support the content if you want to support the content. That's very kind of you. Do check out OneFootball. It's free, and the link's in the top of the description. All right, guys. Love you very much. See you in a bit. Peace.